On campaign where he was able to get amongst the people, especially the youth, get them out to vote. It's a left-leaning city, but I think we're even going farther to the left and like reaching more into the socialism aspect, which I think was a big part of his campaign. So I think it's exciting. Also, a Muslim brown man as a mayor of New York City is indicative of like maybe a changing of the tides of the broader political climate in the US as well. Maybe a general movement, and this has happened in recent elections when you think about the presidential elections, like maybe it's time for some newer blood in the political scenes. Obviously Trump and Biden, like very old candidates. And so I think maybe that's also a trickle-down effect on the Cuomo.
Him winning speaks a lot to what somebody who sees myself in him. I think it's really exciting to see that New York also embraces that kind of culture and that heritage.
Especially for Gen Z kids of color, Muslim kids, I think the Democratic establishment has this idea that being moderate and being centrist in a lot of their views is what's going to galvanize the Democratic Party, and trying to see if we can like meet in the middle and get like this huge like grasp on all of America. But to have somebody so clear on his values and where he stands, especially with Palestine, I think galvanized a lot of Gen Z, especially with like the recent presidential election. I think everyone all over America, especially Gen Z folks, have question a lot of the Democratic Party and the Democratic establishment and wanting them to take more stronger stances. Having somebody that's progressive and believes in our values, that we also continue to be advocates for those platforms, that we continue to hold politicians accountable. You know, Zoran winning the primary and Sharla winning mayor, we still have to have that accountability relationship with our politicians.
I was really proud of my city for pulling through. I think it was about time for a turnaround and for us to vote for someone who actually cares about representing the city and the people. And I think he really proved his point well during those interviews when people were constantly asking him about his support for Israel and how he was, you know, he didn't really respond to it because he knew that they were going to try and trap him. So him responding and being like, I'm here to represent New York, like I will happily talk with the Jewish community in New York, like that's where I belong, you know, that's what my position is. And I think that alone, like I really wanted to stand with him after that. I was like, yeah, that's the whole position, that's the whole point, you're being the mayor of New York. We're finally realizing that the government is supposed to represent us, the people, and that we actually do have the power to speak up and change things. We just have to utilize the community and come together. And I think that this mayoral race really kind of showed how.
Can we stop glazing Palestine? Basically, Israel doing the work of the world. Israel over Iran, to be honest. Giga Chad. Iran really asking for it. Can we stop glazing Israel, please? Or can we stop glazing Palestine? Israel number one. No politic here. No politic here. Stop glazing Palestine. There is no P in the Arabic language. How can you say Palestine? There is no P. There is no P sound in the Arabic language. It's not real. Palestine is not real. I love how absolutely educated these people that were interviewing sound. Yeah. There is no P. No politic here. Israel, number one. Israel, number one. I unbanned them because I wanna hear more incredible takes from that chatter.
How that can really turn things around. And I think that after this, I hope that New York will come together more and really start to utilize our power as the people to fix what we want fixed.
No, nee. We're gonna get Stalin Island. Daniel just sent me the video, the kneecap video. Zohran Mamdani won an admittedly small precinct in Totenville on the southern shore of Staten Island. Last November, those blocks gave 80% of the votes to Donald Trump. Mamdani only trails Cuomo by 9% on Staten Island. Yeah, we'll talk about the kneecap video as well. Their manager just sent it to me. As an Israeli, I have some things to teach you. What do you want to teach me? As a black man, you are wrong. As an Israeli, I have some things to teach you. You never know that we were a sleeper cell before you wake up. I'm ready. When did you start shaving your unibrow? Okay. Where were we? Never let him know your next move. Yeah, exactly. Mayor Adams launches re-election campaign and accuses Mamdani of anti-Semitism. All right. And of course, despite the fact that he is supposed to be a Democrat, he is launching his campaign on Fox News alert. Okay. And big business is slated to line up behind Eric Adams. Eric Adams meets with business leaders desperate to stop Mamdani's rise. He's doing it on Fox News. A real rat fuck operation. A real rat fuck operation in place. On the other side, you got Bill A. Paxman, who again really abusing the Twitter no word limit. The word limit increase from Twitter. I do think he just Chapo calls him Bill Smoke Crackman. I call him Bill A. Paxman. But honestly, I think Smoke Crackman is better because there is 0% chance that you're just like sitting there and writing this on your own without any sort of medical intervention. Like this is, you have to be on crack cocaine. Like you have to be smoking on crack to post this much, dude. Like this motherfucker needs an outlet so bad, bro. He needs an outlet so bad. He needs his voice to be heard so bad. If he had like one friend, you know what I mean? People say this is Adderall shit, but honestly, I think it's meth. Like, I don't think you can just like rip Adderall and pump this out. Like this comes across as like something worse than that. Like you need something stronger than that, you know? And also, of course, the reason why Bill A. Paxman, Bill Smoke Crackman is going nutty is because his daughter is an anti-Zionist and a Marxist. Eloise Ackman went to Harvard, went to college, became a Marxist, #cliche at Harvard College. And he literally talked about it. He talked about how what radicalized him as like this. His nephew enrolled at Harvard, as did his eldest daughter, which Ackman told me recently is where the trouble started. She became like an anti-capitalist, like practically a Marxist, Ackman said in January, leaning across large conference room table at the office of his hedge fund, Pershing Square. We talk about capitalism, and she would freak out at the table. His daughter was in the social justice studies department, just like her father, and rode crew too. But she had chosen to write her thesis on the concept of reification of Western Marxist thought, having come to very different conclusions than her father about how the world should work. Ackman said it felt as though she had been indoctrinated into a cult. That's where his resentment comes from. By the way, this is why I jokingly always say, jokingly but not so jokingly, that the reason why I'm public enemy number one for the ADL, for Jonathan Greenblatt, is that. This is the reason. Because Candace Owens is an anti-Semite. So Candace Owens or Dan Bilzerian is not going to make Jonathan Greenblatt or Bill A. Paxman's sons and daughters and nieces and nephews into designated anti-Zionists, because those guys are obviously anti-Semitic and they're simply using the issue of Israel and its unpopularity to drive home a scarier point. Their goal is not the emancipation of Palestinians. Their goal is not justice. Their goal is basically to make people more anti-Semitic than they already are. So from that framework, I present a way more significant threat because in their minds, I'm like changing their their immediate family members and the next generation of Jews and their perspective on Zionism. That's what it is. And on top of that, I'm not Jewish myself, so that obviously makes it an easier line of attack because you can't fucking constantly shit on Simone Zimmerman if you are a Jewish advocacy group. You can't constantly shit on anti-Zionist Jews as a Jewish advocacy group because then everybody goes, I don't know about this. But if you're a prominent fucking progressive political commentator who is of Muslim background, you can very easily fucking hammer on this like, oh, this person is anti-Semitic talking point over and over and over again. But that's where it comes from. And that's also precisely the reason why, like, there are certain things I can't say that, like, Felix can say with ease or Noah could say with ease. And certainly there are things that Zohran can't say either, especially when he's running for mayor. That is precisely the reason why he tones down his framework, his perspective. Yeah, this is the so for Bill Ackman, by the way, Ayaan Hirsi Ali came out with an incredible take. She's now Christian, by the way. She used to be one of those like former Muslim edgy atheists, and then she converted to Christianity. So, you know, obviously, as expected. And she wants Bill Smoke Crackman to run. Ackman offers exactly what New York needs: competence, economic understanding, and the courage to lead with principle. Now, of course, she's a grifter, and she just wants money from Bill A. Packman. I, on the other hand, want Bill A. Packman to run and make a fucking fool of himself, which is why I am also on board. This is one of the very unique moments, one of the very few instances where I'm on board with something that Ayaan Hirsi Ali is saying. Okay? For those of you who don't know, Ayaan Hirsi Ali is a psychopath, a played a formative role in European Islamophobia, and was one of those guys early on or one of those ladies early on that was constantly talking about like Islamic hordes coming into Europe and like ruining the beautiful Western civilization and whatnot, and she probably convinced a lot of people. She was like a new atheist, one of those like former Muslim new atheists that now has taken the Christianity pill, which was expected. She's no longer an atheist. She is now officially a Christian herself. Doors open. Okay. But yeah, she's one of these like Islamophobic grifters. As a duchy, how is Hirsi Ali still relevant? She's not. She's not. She's not really relevant at all. I would say that she lost her relevance like maybe she lost her relevance like probably 5, 6, 7 years ago. It's pronounced Hirsi, not Hershey. Oh, okay. I don't really care, but all right, good. Thank you. Hirsi. Ayaan Hirsi Ali. She was also mentioned by name in the Anders Breivik manifesto, for the record. Like, that's the kind of freak she is. I remember this working on me back in my teen era because I trusted her as a sincere advocate warning us about how bad Islam is, and I fell for it. Yeah, this is the role that these guys play. But yeah, I agree with her. I think Bill Ackman should do a write-in candidacy. Now, of course, this is what Bill is doing. CEO of Pershing Square, Trump booster, and an all-around Islamophobic sociopath. Bill Ackman has been cooking up a plan. Of course, everyone was wondering what this plan was going to look like. He was like, oh, well, I'm going through the motions and like trying to figure out what legal routes we have available to us. I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm just going to summarize it. Basically, he says that it's not that long of a time frame for you to run, right? He's putting out a call here saying, if you're a candidate who's young, dynamic, charismatic like Zoran, basically glazing Zoran, and then saying you're a part of the business community, you can run like a Bloomberg-style candidacy here, okay? And you can win because we have unlimited money to put on your candidacy. We have unlimited dollars that we can fund your candidacy with. Hundreds of millions of dollars are ready to go, okay? And yeah, Krang says, I'll say to save you from reading what appears to be 2,000 Benjamin Netanyahu if he visits New York City on his watch. 45% of voters oppose an arrest, while 19% are undecided. Yeah, I don't know if I believe this, but we got to get those numbers up if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? New York Jews and LA Jews are very different, in my opinion. I mean, of course, that's everything, though. That's like New York Muslims and LA Muslims are different, you know? That's the point. Jews are not like a unique group that is monolithic in nature. Like, that's not the case. They're not super special magic people. We got to fucking stop with this like underlying weird notion that they are. Yeah, New York pizza is different than LA pizza. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Fuck. Anyway. Yeah, New York pizza is better. That's not even a question. Calm down. I'm not saying that it's not. Connecticut down, everybody. Number one article on New York Times this morning. Mamdani's success spotlights a deepening rupture among U.S. Jews. While Zohran Mamdani won over some Jew supporters of the Jewish Democrats, suggests that, yeah, this is bullshit. They're just like still fucking beefing up this narrative. My Republican dad who lives in Arkansas sent me the campaign video of him at the halal cart and asked if this was the guy the news was calling anti-Semitic. I said yes, but he's getting attacked for being a progressive brown guy. He said he doesn't know about that at all, but he wants to make food cars cheaper and is speaking his language. Progressive policies are popular. You don't need to capitulate to right on immigration. Axios, Dems are plotting to take down Zoran. Actually, New York pizza was invented in Tel Aviv and LA pizza was invented in Jerusalem in the 1970s. Okay, good one. Today, I learned from a guy at Barcelona on TikTok that the country of Turkey has the highest body count of any country in the world. Care to comment? What do you mean body count? I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's watch this real quick. Mamdani win. It was about time for the turnaround.
In the New York Democratic primary, defeating former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Mamdani ran one of the most unapologetically pro-Palestine and socialist campaigns in New York electoral politics history, which marked a significant moment in progressive organizing here in the city. Although his campaign focused on bread and butter issues such as public transportation or housing, A lot of the conversation that revolved around Mamdani was on his critique of Israel, which his opposition used to demonize him in an attempt to portray him as anti-Semitic. We're asking the city what Mamdani's win last night might mean for New York, which has never seen a young South Asian Muslim mayor, and whether they think he'll win in the mayoral election in November.
He genuinely ran a campaign. I think Cuomo even admitted it. Like, he ran a very strong.
I don't have any issues with Iranians. I have issues with their government funding global terrorism. Dog, what do you think this is? Look at the screen right now. It says NATO, leaders trade money for defense and flattery to win over Trump. What do you think this is? Okay. This is an infinitely more comprehensive, above the, by the books version of what you are. You throw a fit like a child.